Yes, lads, what is going on? Welcome to episode 5 of the Under 23 Road to Glory on my channel. If you enjoy the video, please do leave it a like, and if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing. If you're completely new to Sorare and you haven't yet signed up and are looking to do so, there's a link in the description of the video that will get you one free limited card once you've purchased your first 5 from the new card auctions. Okay, so the running order for today's episode is we're going to look through our last game week, how we got on, what went wrong, what went right, and then we're going to look forward to this weekend's game week, see where we're at, what players we have available as it is international break right now. That's the intro out of the way, lads. Let's get into things. So, last game week. First of all, you might be able to notice that for whatever reason, I entered the lineup into All-Star Limited, lads, and if you are a regular viewer of this series, you should know that I should be playing Under 23 Limited. I don't know what happened. I think I was like scrambling to make my lineups like half an hour before the deadline. I must have misclicked and submitted my team into All-Star Limited rather than Under 23 Limited. But you know what, lads? It didn't matter because, yeah, things just didn't go right for us again. There seems to be a pattern in our teams over the last couple of weeks since starting the series, and we seem to have 1 or 2 good scores and the rest are just very, very average. And you know what, that's just kind of the way it's going to go for us, lads, because we don't have the best of players, and that's just, you know, the nature of this game. You know, unless you have incredible players, you can't expect incredible scores every game week, and that's kind of, you know, the fun thing about it, because, you know, that one game week we're going to crack it and we're going to get a reward, and it's going to be given away to one of you guys, and that is going to feel good. But right now we still haven't cracked the code, lads. Campos conceded 3 away from home to Espanyol. I kind of knew this was not a great fixture for him, if I'm being honest. Unfortunately, he conceded the dreaded 3 goals. Did get a decent AA score, actually, but, you know, it wasn't enough to see us do anything. But that's not his doing, it's the rest of the team's doing as well. But yeah, tough matchup there. I didn't really expect too much. Jesper Darland got an 11.86 AA, as you can see. As my captain, they did concede, actually. So they won 2-1. I think they conceded really late on in the game, so he lost his clean sheet. But he actually got brought off in the 64th minute. So I assume there was some sort of injury situation. But I've checked and he's in the Norwegian squad, so I don't think he's injured. I think he's okay. It might have been precautionary. He lost more duels than he won, which wasn't great. Got an attempted assist, no tackles. Yeah, just not really a great defensive showing from him as far as, you know, what you'd want from a defender. And then Nicholas Madsen, who played on the opposite team to Jesper Darland that weekend, got a 4.4 AA in 81 minutes, which is obviously not great at all. So yeah, just very disappointing from those two. Again, lost more duels than he won. So yeah, really disappointing scores from those two in that game. The only shining light of the game week, lads, was Jørgen Larsen. He finally got a goal for us. There was no AA game, as you can see, 1.5 AA, but we didn't really expect much of an AA game from Larsen. 70 minutes played, 1 goal. They actually beat Almeria 3-2 away from home. You know what, lads, we're going to take it. He's finally scored a goal. He's broken his curse. And yeah, hopefully he can kind of kick on from this international break now, going forward. And yeah, it'd be nice if I could say the same about Badji, but unfortunately I cannot. 3.5 AA. Another big chance missed for the man. I don't know what's going on with Badji, lads. He's getting so many big chances missed. It's getting, you know, worrying. It's becoming worrying. And yeah, I mean, the double forward situation probably didn't, well, it definitely didn't pay off. I don't think I had any other realistic, like, players that I could have brought in to the 5 that would have made a difference, if I'm being honest. In the Sorare gallery, I think I have 10 players right now on the roster, and yeah, no one really stood out, you know, outside of this 5. So, you know, I picked the best 5 I could. But just 233 points, lads, is just nowhere near enough, is it? 133 points away from a tier 5. Scores are getting competitive. Scores are getting I mean, they've always been competitive, but I think that makes it even sweeter, I guess, when we will crack the code and when we do finally win a reward. You know, and that's the thing. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So like, you know, when I first started almost 3 years ago, it took me ages to win my first card reward, and you know, it was way less competitive back then. Obviously, way less users. There was no limiteds at the time. It was just rares and above. So you know, things have changed. Things are always changing, and yeah, I'm just excited to see where we can take this gallery and the series. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. This is something that I'm doing for fun in that sense, but I really want to win you guys a card reward, and just show the brutal reality of playing Sorare at any level, because it's just not easy. This game isn't easy to play and to win and to be that good at. It takes time. It takes a lot of luck, and it takes capital as well. Like, you can't just come into this game and expect, you know, to just make thousands of pounds. It just don't work. You have to put the time in. You have to put the effort in. And that's just what I'm trying to showcase here, that, you know, it is tough, but when you do crack it, it is a sweet feeling. So gallery hasn't changed, lads, as far as, ins and outs. We don't have any ins and outs to report on. We've still got our 10 cards. We got really unlucky with the Driouech purchase. He got injured that weekend. Well, he got injured the weekend before we bought him. I was hoping he would be back for that, the weekend that I bought him for, and he wasn't. So that was a bit annoying. We haven't yet been able to play our sort of main man because he is capable of those peak scores, and that's something that we really need to take advantage of when we get the chance, but we haven't had the chance yet. Our new purchase, actually, or our newest purchase, Nais Duhara is how I'm going to pronounce it, who moved from Rijeka in the Croatian league to Leganas in the Spanish second division, actually started that first game. I didn't expect him to. I didn't play him because I didn't think he would start, and he did, to be fair. He didn't play the whole game. What did he come off? Yeah, he played 45 minutes, so I'm not sure if he came off with an injury or not. But he started the game, which is an encouraging sign going forward. And yeah, his auction price right now is a little bit higher than what we paid. We paid £3.51. And I think his auction price is what? Yeah, £4.40. So, hopefully we can sell him for a bit of profit if we wanted to. I do have to admit, the new card design is growing on me. I'm not sure if you share the same opinion, but I am kind of coming around to that. Yuito Suzuki came off the bench. Yeah, so he's come off the bench in the last 2 games, which is encouraging. Not yet had a start for Brøndby, but the fact he's come off the bench is a good thing. Mohamed Sham, yeah, what did he get? A 48. So to be fair, he did score better than Madsen, so he's probably the only player that I could have played that would have, improved my score. They drew with Toulouse 2-2. He didn't get any decisives, but what's he? Yeah, he's trading for like £7.60 right now, and I paid, £9. So he's on a bit of a dip, but I guess we are into the international break. And I guess that's kind of a good sort of segue into this sort of next part of the video, where I'm going to show you guys that, it is international break. So a lot of my cards, or most of my cards, aren't playing, as probably most of yours aren't. But my goalkeeper is playing. He does have a fixture. No breaks in the Spanish second division. They go all the way through international breaks, and that's great for utility, of course. But I don't have enough cards to complement that. I do have Duhara to play in there because he plays for Leganas obviously now, and Leganas do play in the Spanish second division, but I do not have a defender, midfielder, or an extra player to pair with them. I was looking at my balance. I'm at £16.83 left from my initial £100 investment, and I was looking at the pick scores on Sorare Data's Game Week Center tab. If you want to do this yourself, you basically go to Game Week, you go to games, well, you don't have to go to games, but you go to pick scores, and then you toggle down here. I go to under 23 limited, and you can just change what position you want to look for. And this just kind of gives you an idea of who has the best matchups for that given region or division. At the top here, we obviously got Pavlovic, who plays at home to Hungary, but like 55 floor price. We're never going to be able to afford players like that. But I was just having a look at some of the sort of cheaper players. You got like Kiwior here for £6.90. And I was kind of trying to see whether or not we could come up with 3 extra players for a lineup this game week. I just don't think it's worth it, lads, honestly. Like, if I had 4 players in here, say if I had a defender that had a fixture and maybe a midfielder, and I only needed an extra player, with my budget of £16, I would probably go out and buy an extra player, to kind of field that team. At that point, I kind of see there being, a chance of us, getting something from the game week. But the fact that I need to buy 3 cards, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just not going to make sense, especially on the budget I'm on. So we're probably going to have to sit this game week out, and that's fine. International breaks are sometimes a nice little refresh for Sorare players in general. Not everyone plays the international breaks. And for the gallery I have, it's an under 23 gallery, not set up to play international breaks, and that's just the way it is, even though I have a goalkeeper that has a fixture. You could argue it's a good time to maybe sell my Campos leading up to this game week, because, he's probably one of the only under 23 keepers playing this upcoming game. So looking at the goalkeeper pick scores for this upcoming weekend, what have we got? We've got like 8 or so keepers that are sort of set to start. I've just searched his name on Twitter to find out that he is in the Spanish under 21 tournament. That isn't covered on Sorare, so technically I don't have any goalkeepers for this midweek. I wasn't going to play him anyway, so he is away, so he won't be playing for Amor Bieta this upcoming game week, which is fine. Like I said, I don't have a team to really put him in. I guess, my thought of, should I sell him on maybe for this upcoming game week and buy him back at a later date, probably doesn't really come into effect, because he, if people realize that he doesn't have a fixture, no one's going to really buy him in that sense. So his price isn't going to have any sort of inflation, because yeah, there is obviously other goalkeepers out there, but they're all very expensive. Apart from this Leo Roman, to be fair, £16. But whether he starts or not, I mean, the Sorare data community seems to think he's pretty nailed on, but I don't know enough about his situation. So yeah, I am treating this sort of next couple of game weeks, so this weekend and then next midweek, as a bit of a breather, to be honest, lads. From trying to challenge, in the under-23 tournament, I don't have lineups for it. Game week 4 or 5 this weekend. I won't have a lineup. So for the game week after this weekend, I do have a couple of players apparently in their national team. Whether they're going to play or not is a different question. But again, we don't really have a goalkeeper, so I'm not really too interested in that. My full focus now is on game week 407, which will be the first game week back for club football. And that's where I'm hoping Drew Etch can be back. I'm hoping we can have, a full 10 players to pick from, basically, and play the matchups and have a good chance at winning you guys a reward. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Let me know if you guys are fielding international teams. If you are, I wish you all the best. And yeah, lads, we're going to conclude episode 5 there. I know it wasn't as thorough as normal, but we are in an international break, so there's just less things to think about in that sense. So yeah, we've got a week or so break until things ramp back up again for game week 407. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great game week, and I shall see you guys in the next episode.